Welcome to the second episode for Series 11. Some real quick announcements and we'll be ready to hop right into the episode. Just a reminder, I'll be at Midwinter Gaming Convention on Saturday, January 12th in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, almost exactly 1 month from the release of this episode. I'll be running 2 games of my game, Chimera. So if you want to get in on some fantasy, superhero, magical girls gameplay, definitely check it out and sign up if you are able to attend. Also, Amelia is gearing up for her launch of her L5R podcast detailing the history of the lore of L5R, which sounds really amazing. You can find them at G5R Podcast on Twitter or garbageofthefivereigns.com. Finally, come check us out at our Discord server at discord.charactercreationcast.com. We'd love to hear from you. Oh, and speaking of hearing from you, don't forget to leave a rating or review on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or our Facebook page in order to help others find the podcast as well. It really does help us out and really does help us feel amazing whenever we read them. With all of that said, let's get on with the show. Enjoy. In the last episode, Amelia was making a whisper, I was making a slide, Josie was making a hound, Ree was making a lurk, and Minna was creating a leech. We'll be picking up right where we left off, so let's get right to it. Enjoy the show.
Okay, so the next step is where we actually get to talk about those action dots. Or the action skills. So over on kind of the right side of the character sheet, there's a list of 12 items broken up into 3 big categories. Those are your actions. That is how you interact with everything in Blades in the Dark. They are hunt, study, survey, tinker, finesse, prowl, skirmish, wreck, attune, command, consort, and sway. Every playbook starts with 3 dots already assigned, and then you can assign another 4 however you want. There are no class skills or anything. You can just put things wherever you want. So if you want to be like a really charming whisperer who's very good at talking to people, you can put a bunch of stuff into sway and consort. The one kind of limiting factor is that at character creation, you can't put more than 2 dots in anything. But otherwise, you can just kind of put stuff wherever you want.
Although it does recommend as a guideline in the book that you put a dot down that reflects the heritage of your character, one that reflects the background of your character, and then just 2 wherever you want.
Yeah.
But that's just a guideline. Like, don't need to
I like
to that.
doing that because it kind of helps, like, make that experience be reflected in the mechanics.
Yeah.
Speaking of, like, this never comes up. Like, what's the best skill for, like, riding a horse?
I think it's finesse.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put the dot in that.
finesse is
finesse
the one.
You might handle the controls of a vehicle or direct a mount. That's one of the things listed on page 58 under finesse.
Now we know. I think I made you guys ride horses once, and you didn't have to roll for it because you were riding with people.
Yeah, it's finesse.
Yeah.
Finesse is, like, the weirdest skill because, like, nobody can ever figure out where to apply it.
Yeah. So yeah, if people have questions about like what the different actions kind of cover, I can talk about them in a little more like, but
Also,
yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, because I start with 1 consort and 2 sway.
Yes.
Okay.
you're very charming.
So yeah, so sway, those are both like social skills that overlap a little but are distinct. So sway is being manipulative and deceitful, and you don't really care about what happens to the other person after you're done talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
Consort,
It can also just be like a good argument / persuasion, technically, but
yeah. Consort is you actually care about this other person. You are having an open, honest connection with them. So that is something that you would use where you do care about what happens to this person after. Sway is you're using people to get what you want. Consort is you're building a connection to get what you want. So like similar, you could have somebody say the exact same thing, but it would have very different implications depending on which skill you rolled.
Ah, that makes sense.
In those cases. So yeah, that's with the slide, you are pretty good at both.
Yeah.
So for survey, is that like your sort of perception, like your ability to...
Yeah, that is sort of high level scanning of an area. Survey and study kind of are the two perception skills. Study has some other applications as well, but like survey is I'm going to look over something broadly. Study is I'm going to do a really deep, narrow focus on something.
Okay.
I'm assuming command is commanding people to do things.
Yeah, that's kind of giving orders, being intimidating, things like that.
What would it?
And then attune, that is the one that you use for spooky occult stuff. So another thing about the setting is there is something called the ghost field that kind of overlays everything. It contains ghosts, it contains memories, it contains echoes of the city as it used to be. It's kind of loosely defined, so in a game you can do sort of whatever you want with it to a degree. But generally speaking, in order to do any kind of occult stuff, you're going to be doing attune. And it's usually like attuning to the ghost field.
Okay.
Which, like, the Whisper is especially good at it and has abilities that support that, but anyone can do it. Anybody can manipulate the ghost field. And interact with ghosts, for better or worse. Yeah.
I think I have my dots figured out.
I have 3 of my 4.
I know, I'm debating on this last one.
Yeah, me too.
I have 3 out of 4 as well.
Yeah.
I only have 1 in Resolve so far, which is wild.
Yeah.
For me.
I think I got it. Okay, I think I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm good too.
Me too.
I guess my last question, when it says hunt,
Yes.
is that hunting prey, or can you hunt for other things?
Yeah, that is both kind of your tracking skill. So like if you're trying to follow somebody through the city, you would use hunt, but you also would use hunt for long-ranged attacks.
Interesting. Okay.
So like if you were, trying to do sniping at a distance, you would use hunt.
Then I
Whereas, skirmish is the like up close fighting.
Very cool.
So do we want to go through what we all assigned? What we've got?
Yeah, please.
I can start. So for the lurk, I started with 1 dot in finesse and 2 dots in prowl. And then I gave myself 1 dot each in hunt, study, tinker, and consort. So I spread out a lot. I have 1 die in a lot of things. Yeah, I felt like I had to give this character study because of the academic background. I think she's very good at doing research and deep dives on stuff. Not great at talking to people, though. Not very good particularly not very good at being manipulative or deceitful, which see how that works out.
Can I just jump in to contrast with your characters since we have so similar? So actually my only resolve skill is 1 dot in sway. I started with 2 tinker and 1 wreck. I'd put a dot in sway, a dot in study, a dot in finesse, and a dot in prowl. I think the studying comes from her temple heritage, is that she would have been educated quite young, and her time as a healer on the road. I want to say actually the finesse came from there. She learned to do a little bit of like pickpocketing sometimes. You just ways to survive on the road.
Yeah.
And then I think the others, I kind of centered her as a little bit more of a physical character along with her insight.
Oh, very cool.
Josie, do you want to go?
Yeah. As a hound, I start off with 2 hunt, which is good because I'm rolling with sort of the horse archer thing. And then a dot and survey, which is useful to have for surveying surroundings. I put a dot in finesse for, again, the horse aspect of it. Prowl, because if you're out without lightning barriers in the Deathlands, you need to know how to get around out there and not be seen. And then, because of her status as, like, a warlord princess, I put my 2 remaining dots in command.
Nice.
The only way she knows how to interact with people is to
give them orders.
Talk down to them, basically.
Oh, this really is stretching yourself.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I started out with 2 in attune and 1 in study.
Nice.
And then I put 1 in survey, 1 in command, 1 in consort, and 1 in sway.
Nice.
You gotta just talk your way out of everything.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. So as the slide, I started with 1 in consort and 2 in sway. And I was debating on putting a second 1 in consort, but I decided I don't care about anybody else. Except for my friends. So I went ahead and put a 1 in command, because she would be used to command as a princess. 1 in study, because she wants to know how to study people up close, individuals, as she is trying to talk to them and manipulate them. Survey, to survey a room and find easy marks. And finesse, just for fun.
Just for fun. Sure.
Yeah.
Gotta have a little bit finesse.
Yeah. So the next thing that we do for character creation is choose a special ability. So there's a list of special abilities that your character has access to that will kind of give them some fun bonuses for what they're able to do. And you pick one. If you're not sure what to pick, the first one on the list is kind of the, like, it's a good first special ability if you're not sure of what else to go with. And if you have questions about what any of them mean, I can explain, like...
Is that really the case? Because mine are in alphabetical order.
Mine are
I mean, it says in the book that, maybe yours just ended up that way.
Weird.
Yeah, mine are definitely in alphabetical order, too.
And I would not choose Alchemist as my first special ability.
No, I do know that one is listed first for the leech, though.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the Cruci? No, that's not right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Shrugs.
Yeah, so like I said, if there's something where you're looking at and be like, I don't know what this means, just ask and I can explain.
I think I'm actually, because I did give her that healer background, I'm going to give her the Physicker special ability.
That makes sense.
Which means you guys have a built-in healer.
Yay!
You get +1 die to all of your healing treatment rolls. We don't have to go to a weird chemist store, a weird whatever Sawtooth is.
Listen.
Yeah.
I love Sawtooth.
Sawtooth is a sketchy back alley doctor.
Who is overcharging us.
Who is overcharging you, but never reports you and your many, many crimes.
Because he's very good and also scruffy Tom Hardy.
Yes.
Well, then. Sure.
All right, I think I'm going to go with, like, looking into a mirror. You can always tell when someone is lying to you.
That's my favorite slide ability. It has so many. But here's the thing. You can tell when someone is lying to you no matter what. You see through every lie, even the kind ones, even the ones meant to protect you. You know they're lying.
Brutal.
There's an ability like that in L5R. It's like the first look. Basically, you have a conversation with somebody for a little while, and then you can discern whether they're lying to you or not. But, like, it makes dating really terrible.
Yeah.
You're going to get trauma handed to you.
Yeah. So I I took Ghost Veil, which says you may shift partially into the ghost field, becoming shadowy and insubstantial for a few moments. And then I spend some stress, and then I can spend additional stress to kind of get extra features like it lasts for a few minutes, I'm invisible, I can float through the air like a ghost. Basically, I can kind of become a ghost for a couple seconds if I want.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, like, I could literally just like, oh, this door is locked?
Wow.
I am on the other side.
All of the
That's
ghost
pretty
special
sweet.
abilities, because every playbook has a ghost ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all good. And one of them is just, you can punch ghosts.
Yeah.
I think I want to take ritual.
Ooh.
You can study an occult ritual or create a new one to summon a supernatural effect or being.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm
There's
for
a
it.
whole
For a cult.
I'll leave it to you. There is like a whole like kind of mechanic in the book for how to create a ritual. I don't know if we want to get into that.
I mean, probably not, but
Not
if
for
there's
creation.
time.
Gosh, I'm having a hard time deciding between two here.
Wait.
My options are sharpshooter, which is you can push yourself to do crazy stuff with ranged weapons, which is fun. But there's one called Ghost Hunter, where your hunting pet is good at fighting ghosts.
Yeah.
And that's a ghost ability.
Yeah.
Definitely take that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm taking that one.
Oh, my goodness.
You can
Thumbs
talk
up.
to your ghost pet in your mind.
Well, and that's the thing is with the like if you're Savrosi, that was the silver nails. Remember where I told you that they had the horses that fight ghosts? That's what you have.
Oh,
You
you're
played
one
a
of those.
Savrosi
Yeah.
hound
It says
with a ghost horse.
Yeah. You have a horse that fights ghosts.
With hands for him?
yeah.
No,
No, we're not doing
No.
that again.
I refuse.
I'm not going to inflict that horribleness on everyone. But it says, yeah, your hunting pet is imbued with spirit energy. It gains potency, which I actually don't know what that means.
It means
when
you
tracking or fighting the supernatural.
you have improved effect.
Okay. And gains an arcane ability, ghost form, mind link, or arrow swift.
Ooh.
Arrow swift specifically says it can travel faster than any creature or vehicle.
Crap.
I love that.
That's so
Oh, wow.
cool.
Hi ho, silver away.
Like, in the tight confines of Duskfall, like, I imagine, like, a horse alone is hard to justify, but it would be awesome to have that gotta go fast horse. But I kind of want to do, like, a ghost form horse. So it's just,
I can take
surprise horse.
I can ride your horse into a room. We can both turn into ghosts and just be in a room.
Oh, wow.
Yep. I'm going to go with that, I think.
It's that is so many hijinks.
I need to know the backstory of this horse that you obviously found out in, like, the Savrosi wastes. Also, do we have two princesses in our party?
So I think everybody's got a special ability,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So next, we choose a friend and a rival. So on your sheet, you have a list of, there'll be some descriptor. For mine, it's shady friends. Everyone, I think, has a different descriptor. That's a list of 5 characters, which is basically a name and a short description. And next to each of them is like an up arrow and a down arrow. You know all of these people. These are all contacts of yours. One of them is somebody who you're really close to. They're a best friend. They're a sibling. You did time together and were cellmates. That's somebody who you have a very strong positive bond with. There is someone who you is your rival. This is somebody who you have crossed in the past. They are holding a grudge, or you're holding a grudge. So you pick one friend and one rival.
Okay. I've got mine.
I love this section because it
Yeah.
just lets you figure out relationships with NPCs, which is like my dumb favorite thing.
It's very good.
What is a spirit trafficker?
Okay, so here's a really fun thing about the setting.
Okay, so.
So, you know how there's ghosts?
Yes.
You can capture ghosts in spirit jars, and some people like to take those ghosts. Some people just keep them to ask them for advice. But some people have figured out how to take those ghosts and turn them into ghost drugs.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man. You
There
can
are
just snort
drugs
ghosts?
made out of ghosts.
Oh, that's so good.
It's so good. So a spirit trafficker is someone who deals in the illegal trade of spirits.
Wow.
It's the best.
That's so good.
I love this saying so much, you guys.
Also, like, 80% of these, like, weird things that it's like, it gives an occupation and you don't know what it is, most of the time the book won't tell you. It's just, you make it up.
Yeah.
I think the first time I played, I asked you, what's a sentinel? And you're like, I don't know, make it up.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know.
On the Hound playbook, I think.
Yeah, the very, very first Blades game I ran, they were smugglers, and one of the smuggler crew special abilities is you can smuggle ghosts, which is you can, like, carry a ghost inside yourself without being possessed. So they were like, we are ghost smugglers, and that we smuggle ghosts and trade them to the spirit trafficker in exchange for money.
Oh, wow.
It was
so
awesome.
Good.
Ghouls and spirits can be exchanged for money.
Yes.
Well, I got mine.
Yeah, I got mine too.
Same.
I have my rival. You know what? I'll go with that for my friend. I think that'll be kind of an interesting arrangement. Does everybody have all of their people?
I think so. I'm kind of excited about this. This is good.
Oh,
This
you
is
go
dumb
first
and
then.
good.
You go first then. I want to know about your people that you are so excited about.
Okay. So for my, was it a nemesis or an enemy or
A rival?
Rival. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't read this tiny writing. It's a professor ghost.
A possessor ghost.
A possessor
Oh,
ghost.
possessor ghost, not
ghost.
professor ghost.
Professor ghost.
But Professor Ghost would
It
be
would be
great.
great.
I want it to be a
A
professor
ghost
ghost.
possessing a professor.
It's Nyrix.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it's...
Oh, hi.
Yep.
Nyrix is a very unique character. Ryan, if you look at your playbook,
I've got
you will see
Nyrix on
that
my playbook too.
You do have Nyrix
And
on your playbook as well.
Nyrix is my best friend.
Oh no.
Again. So here's the thing. Nyrix is one of the coolest NPCs in this because she shows up on two playbooks with two different descriptors.
Yeah.
On the Whisper playbook, Nyrix is a possessor ghost.
Okay.
On the Slide playbook, Nyrix is a prostitute.
Yep.
So the book does not, that is the only instance of this character showing up. They do not explain how this works. It is left up to everybody to decide what this means, how this arrangement is happening.
Okay, so
Also-
she's both a prostitute and a possessor ghost?
There is someone.
It
yeah.
sounds like a very lucrative kink market going on there.
I mean, honestly, that would be my estimation. Yeah.
So it is
sounds
a
right.
ghost who is a prostitute who makes money by indulging people's kink of being possessed. Is that what we're going with?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
I mean,
That's
I don't know
that's
what you're
not
into.
what I went with at all.
I love it,
Oh,
though.
I want to know what
But-
did you go with?
So
Because I was 100% on the same page as Ryan.
Yeah.
in the
That's
Magpies, Nyrix.
This isn't spoilers anymore.
Yeah, no.
right? These
This is
episodes are out.
This is all come out.
Everybody realized, I think, in the most recent episode
Yeah,
that came out.
Except for
Yeah,
Minx.
Minx is so in the Magpies. Nyrix is Minx's on again, off again girlfriend, who is
She's a sex worker.
yeah, she is possessed by a ghost who has like retained their mind and personality. So she's just kind of like, it's like having a roommate in your head.
Oh,
She just has a ghost hanging out with her. The episode where she kind of explains why she did this hasn't come out yet, but almost everybody in the crew knows, or I think everybody in the crew knows about it except Minx.
No, Finn doesn't, because
Oh, yeah,
Madge
yeah.
didn't know until our season 1 Q&A episode.
Yeah.
Because she
So-
missed all of the sessions that happened in.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun thing to deal with when that's Josie, that's part of why I really want Minx to have that ability, because
no. Can I also point out, in the Whisper playbook, another fun one? It just throws Skurlock and Skurlock and,
yeah, Sitara's
Sitara?
So Lord Skurlock is a an extremely powerful NPC in the game who like has his own faction listing and like is super detailed. And
you can just be enemies with him like right off the bat
if you are so inclined.
Or best friends.
Best friends.
Skurlock and Satara are like locked in some kind of demonic bargain thing.
Yeah.
And vying for power, and none of this suggests that they are linked in that playbook. So you could just choose to be friends with one and enemies with another and not realize, oh yeah, they're kind of low-key the same person, but not.
Interesting.
So your friend is Nyrix.
Yes.
Yes.
So, your
Who
friend
did
is...
you pick
your
for-
friend is...
Yeah,
Your
well,
friend
both
is
of you
Nyrix.
have Nyrix as a friend. Amelia,
No, I picked Nyrix as an enemy.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, that's even better.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Nyrix is your rival. Who is your friend?
I picked Flint as my friend.
Is that the spirit trafficker?
The spirit trafficker.
Excellent.
Huh.
You're hooking him up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why?
So your bestie
Stay away
Ryan
from my
was.
bestie.
Look, I'm just like not into that.
Well, sometimes.
Don't kink shame.
We'll get to that when we get to
Shaming,
vices.
I'm just like not into it.
It's okay.
I was joking.
Who is your rival, Ryan? Who did you pick?
My character's rival is Bazzo Baz, a game leader.
You picked the exact same pair that Minx has in the exact same way.
That's amazing.
That is really amazing. Yeah,
Bazo is
Bazo
also
is
in
the
every
head of the
incarnation.
Lamp Blacks, which
In
is
every
a
incarnation,
gang.
he's a direct attack on me.
A gang.
So I just
and
kind of have an instant reaction to him.
That's amazing.
That's hilarious that you. Oh man.
Oh God.
I don't know who wants to go next.
I have mine.
Go for it.
All right.
So my friend, I'm gonna start with my enemy. My enemy is Melista, a priestess, and I think she's a priestess of the Church of the Ecstasy of the Flesh.
Ooh.
That would make sense.
'Cause I don't like them. And my friend is Veldrin, a psychonaut, and I think she's my sister. And just when we came to the city, we went in different directions with being displaced from our origins, our temple.
Cool.
So I think she just takes mental cruises in.
She does ghost drugs.
Yeah, she does ghost drugs and goes on weird time-bending trips.
Oh man.
That's fun. For my rival, I chose Celine, a sentinel, which is just like a protector. She's my rival because with my whole exiled princess thing, I think she's like my sworn protector or something and came with me.
Ooh.
But
And she's
she's
pissed at you for
super
this.
not down with all the stuff I'm mixing up in the cult.
I'm in
She's
love
like,
with this.
no, what are you doing?
I have
Not
one
having a good time
job.
with
I
this babysitting job.
Uh-huh.
I swore an oath,
Yeah,
and you are making it really hard.
exactly.
It's so good.
Tense bodyguard charge relationships are like the best.
Oh god, that's really good.
And then my friend is Melvir, Physiker. Or you know what? No, I'm gonna change my mind. It's gonna be Valeris, a spy. I think when I first came to the city, I joined up with the Bluecoats or something because I'm like, I can put my violence to use and ascend the chain of the command. And Valeris was just someone who latched onto me and like just followed in my wake to get promotions. And then I left eventually because I was too stubborn and indignant, but we're still chill, I guess.
Nice. So I picked Rosalind Kellis, a noble, as my rival. I think this was somebody that I kind of ran in the same circles as back when I was doing the whole diplomat family thing, and we had some kind of. I think that I got I think I'm coming together of how my character got her start with being kind of like the sneak thief lurk type. She would like steal blackmail material on the nobility that she was affiliated with.
I love it.
And just be like, so I found out about this thing, and unless you want it to go public, here's my demands.
Oh my gosh, you're just like the worst gossip.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love this.
And then her friend is Darmot, a blue coat. which is a member of the city police. And I think that this is somebody that she just like has had him on the take for so long that like now they're friends.
Nice.
She's just been bribing this guy to like keep her out of prison and her friends, that now it's just kind of like, we meet up for like weekly drinks and hang out and catch up on what's going on in each other's lives. And then like at the end of the hangout, like I hand him a sack of money.
Is she working on converting him?
I think it's, oh yeah, because we are a cult. Maybe, I might be. The next step after that, which is step 7 out of 8, so we're almost done with the characters, is choosing your vice. So this was what I mentioned earlier when I was talking about stress, where you have to have a way of dealing with the stress that your life, this life of crime causes. So similar to kind of the heritage and background, there are broad categories of vice: faith, gambling, luxury, obligation, pleasure, stupor, or weird. And then you can kind of pick a description for, or a detail for what that is. Obligation is kind of the odd one out in that it's not exactly a vice. Obligation is more of like, helping people, like it's you help a family or a charity or an organization. I feel
like basically vice is like, it's a way that you recharge, but it can also get in the way if you let it.
Yes. So everybody picks a vice and kind of the specifics of how that vice manifests.
I know mine, because it's one I discarded for a recent one-shot character. I have the vice of pleasure. And I think there's like a bathhouse spa type thing in, what's it called? Silk Shore?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think she goes there.
Nice.
Just need to have your spa.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. I think she has like a big affinity with water. The temple that she used to belong to, I think, was to some kind of water deity. So
Oh, nice.
Just theming that in there.
Yeah.
That's generally my brand. But I also went with pleasure.
Nice.
But I went with the gratification from lovers.
Yes.
Does that include
doing something?
Does that include ghost?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
That's a perfect vice, honestly.
Uh-huh.
I think my vice is going to be faith, and I think the cult itself is the vice here. Like, I'm totally bought into it.
Nice.
And just get into a lot of trouble by being so openly devoted to this faith and pissing off Celine some more. So, like, I engage in, like, ritual or whatever whenever I need to calm down or get guidance.
I think that's a good point. I'm really bad about vices in that I often choose vices that don't actually cause that much trouble outside of indulging them. And I don't think that's how you're supposed to do it.
I think it could be interpreted either way from what it's talking about.
I've just never ever once marked XP for my vice getting in the way.
Yeah. I'm thinking, like, hopefully I get in trouble for, like, using our cult's phrases or, like, our equivalent of, like, the sign of the cross in public or something.
You're really good at, like, vices that, like, challenge your character in the midst of scores.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to, like, make a combination of things. Can I do that?
Yeah, what are you thinking?
Well, because I want to mix... I want to mix stupor and weird.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I want to have, like, weird ghost LSD trips.
Yeah,
to
you're a psychonaut as
my,
well.
my...
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Do you hang out with my sister?
Yeah. I just want to snort some ghost juice.
Yeah.
But not my ghost.
But it's for research.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. As long as the ghosts are okay.
I think I'm actually going to go really, like, basic with mine. My character just likes to drink. She just goes out to bars and drinks a lot after scores.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, just...
Sometimes you just gotta unwind.
Yeah.
I just say I love, like, creative interpretations of vices. I think one of my favorites is, like, it's an example in the book, but I love, like, for Stupor, like, getting beaten to a pulp in the fighting pits. It's, like, so flavorful and, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of these get really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then the last thing is, after we've all got our vices, is your character's name, alias if you've got one, and what they look like.
We have to name people.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Welcome to my hell.
Yeah. There's a whole, it's become a running gag at this point where on the Magpies, they'll be like, so what's this NPC's name? And there's just a long silence as I glare at my monitor like, how dare you ask me for a name? Do you have any idea how hard it is for me to come up with a name?
On the list of things that Ree dislikes, coming up with names, my puns.
Yeah, and I left my favorite naming book in the other room, too.
There is, like, a little list of names in the character creation section that you can use. I don't know if you have the books, but it's on page 56, or it's also in the free character creation sheets.
I sent them the character creation sheets.
Yeah, there's a list there. The fun thing about the family names, though, is that a lot of them are, like, in existence in the book, so some of them you can end up accidentally, like, linked to these families in Duskwall.
Yep. It's a fun time.
Like, I found out that I have Myra Keel on the Magpies, and there's, like, what's her name?
It's like, very similar.
It's like Mina or Mira or something really close to Myra Keel, who exists somewhere in the city.
Yep.
Like Dunslough or something.
Yeah, she's in Barrowcleft.
Oh, Barrowcleft, that's it. Somewhere down on that end of the city.
Mara is her name.
Mara
a former,
Keel.
Yeah. I haven't done anything with that yet.
Who knows?
Yet being the operative word.
I have had a list of names open since I decided.
Oh well,
the heritage. So I've got some stuff picked out.
I want to know.
Because foresight. Her real name is Altan Sarnai, which is Mongolian for golden rose. But her alias and more common name, I think, is just going to be Ryder.
Nice.
That's a little bit on the nose, but
it's probably not a name she picked.
Yeah. And then for look, I ignored the formatting so I could put down tall, dark, and butch.
Perfect. Nice. Good.
One thing I just realized is I haven't fully defined my hunting pet yet.
Yeah, you got it. That's important. It's vitally important.
Yeah. So I'm obviously going with a horse, but it has ghost form, so it can phase through stuff. And I'm thinking it's a black horse with albinism. So it's a white black horse.
Ooh.
Which is like an omen or something. And I'm thinking it's carnivorous.
Oh my god, I love it so much.
It's horrifying.
But it's great because you ride into battle, shoot something down, and your horse can just come up and eat it.
Love it. It's also,
I want horrifying, sharp-toothed ghostland horse.
That's a good way to feed horses in the Severosi wasteland.
Yeah, it deals with the fact that there's not really grass anymore.
Oh my.
Yeah, and I'm thinking the meat-eating part is the normal part. The weird omen that makes her special ruler horse is the white hair.
Oh god, that's so horrifying.
White hair, red eyes.
I love this setting.
This is really good. I'm really enjoying this.
And you can just go so many weird directions, and it's beautiful. Like, the more you dig into it, the more fun I have, at least.
Oh, this name thing, I'm just like, really?
I know.
Okay, I've got my name, alias, and look.
Yeah, I've got I'm not doing an alias for my girl.
Okay.
I've got a name, because one name it's enough.
Yeah.
I leaned heavily into this whole, like, I don't know, manipulator type. So I chose my alias first, Vixen.
Nice.
Female fox. And went for the name of Kitsune Vale.
Ooh.
And then for the look, Woman, striking, copper skin, dark red hair, deep green eyes, with a fitted dress and a half cape.
It's very good.
That's
a very good look. I can go next. So my character is Nazrin Zarya, and her look is I didn't use the kind of formatting here, although I would say probably delicate for sort of the one word description, but she has long dark hair that she usually wears in a braid, and has tattoos on both arms from like the back of her hands all the way up to her shoulders that are just I think I haven't quite decided what they are of yet, but I think it's cult related. Yeah. So it's like, I think when she's out and about, she has to wear like long sleeves and fingerless gloves if she wants to be incognito at all. So yeah, that is my person.
Names are still kicking my butt.
I keep like finding them and then losing them. I've decided on a first name. Last names are hard.
Yeah, last names are very hard.
I just went without one.
I'm going to make one up. I'm going to say first name is Arden. And family name, I'm going to say Swell. Because that sounds good.
Yeah, Arden Swell. That's a good name.
That's just swell.
For an alias, I'm going to go with Crow.
Nice.
Spoopy.
And I think for looks, I'm going to go with Ambiguous. And I'm going to say, can I say Disquieting?
Yes. I like that.
Perfect.
So, also with crows,
mm-hmm.
Another fun thing about this setting. So, when people die, it's a little bit of a problem because ghosts come out of you when you die.
Mm-hmm.
Not right away. There's usually like 1 to 3 days. But it's very important that the spirit wardens, who are kind of responsible for squelching all supernatural ghostly activity in the city, the spirit wardens need to recover the body so it can be properly destroyed so the spirit doesn't come out. So the way that they do this is through magic. Anytime somebody in the city dies, the bell at Bellwether Crematorium, where the bodies are destroyed, begins to ring. And what is called a Death Seeker crow sets out from the crematorium and circles in, getting slow, like spiraling in closer and closer to the location of the body, for the spirit wardens to follow this crow to where the body is so it can be recovered and taken away. So, one, that's just cool.
Yes.
And two, kind of for a gameplay perspective, it means that anytime you kill someone on a score, you immediately start a clock ticking down to representatives of an extremely powerful organization kicking down the door. So, like, you don't want to go around doing a lot of murders because it's going to cause a lot of problems.
Right.
Well, it looks like I'm set up to cause a lot of problems.
I think, Minna, were we...
Oh god, please. I don't know why names are tripping me up so much. It's because I'm such a geek about names.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I really love to, like, dig in and, like, get weird about it. Having trouble with that. Okay, let's go back to the name list. It's also bugging me because I made someone named Veldrin my sister, and that doesn't fit the naming convention for Rubia. It's fine. We're fine.
It doesn't matter. It's okay.
I don't have a last name. I think her name is Madri.
Nice.
And last names are for people who have time to dig into names.
What does she look like?
She looks... Oh god, the look list. I think she tends to be, like, very nondescript, if that makes sense. Like, that's my first thought for her, and I think she likes like hoods and like scarves and like hiding her hair, not for any particular reason beyond that it hides her more. She likes to be unnoticed, and I know she's not a lurk, but she does like that.
Yeah.
So yes, I suppose the look would be something like
Concealed.
Yeah, concealed, cold, I think. And we're gonna go with, what's the clothes? I actually like loose silks a lot.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Nice.
So like you almost notice her clothes more than you notice the person underneath.
Nice.
Yeah. So that is it. That's character creation in Blades.
Oh, wow.
That is how you make a Blades person.
Very cool.
We did it.
Although, do we want to do our
Yes.
crew
We
sheet?
do.
Yes.
Because here at
At least the
Creation Cast, we
basics.
like to create backgrounds of how we
Yes.
all got together.
So the crew sheet doesn't exactly define how we came together.
We get to make stuff up still.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We get to make the links.
Yeah. Let me look at how we build a crew. But some of the kind of like as we build the crew, that might lead to some ideas for how we came together. So we are a cult. I have the cult sheet open. The first thing that we do is pick a crew reputation and a lair. So the reputation is kind of like when people out in the city are describing us, what adjective do they use? So like,
What's that adjective Amelia chose?
yeah,
Unsettling.
yeah. So yeah, when people are talking about us, how do they
What about
describe?
heretical?
So heretical, disquieting,
I like unsettling.
What- unsettling.
Once they find out what we're about, it's
Yeah.
very unsettling.
I think unsettling just works in general.
Mm-hmm.
All
like-
right.
We're all kind of a little bit foreign somehow, and
Uh-huh.
none of us like share like the Mora's prominent in Duskwall, and we're also weird.
Yeah.
hmm
Oh, I didn't describe like how I'm weird because I'm
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're
the
Tekarose. What's
Tekaroses
your-
need to tell us their
Ooh,
demonic
that's true.
tells.
yeah. I feel like I have hair that moves on its own.
Oh, yeah.
You have a permanent dramatic wind?
That's
I
She
know.
has
I
a
almost
permanent
think like
Ghibli thing.
I almost think like Medusa style snakes, except
Oh.
not actual snakes.
But it acts that way? That's so
Yes.
cool.
Yes. That's
Mhm.
amazing.
Oh, I love that.
You have prehensile hair.
yes, I do.
That's very good.
Can you use it to like grasp things or like wrap around things?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think the question is
But
how
it's
much
very easy to style in the morning.
how much question do you or how much control do you have over it?
I think not that much.
Yeah.
It's nice and
I like that
autonomous.
idea a
Awesome.
lot. Oh man. Okay, so our reputation is unsettling. And then we pick a lair, which is like our I think in this case it would kind of be like our temple. So some examples are a half sunken grotto in the city's canals, the unassuming back rooms of a merchant's shop, a small abandoned house at the end of a dark lane. Like it can be really just kind of anything. But where do you think we hang out and do cult stuff?
I think it's gotta be the thing that we've designated as our temple. But what does that look like? Where have we set up a little temple?
It might help to figure out what our cult's about.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yes.
We could jump up to that. So yeah, one of the steps for the cult is picking our forgotten god. And let me find.
Oh, the Forgotten God table.
Yeah, let me find that list.
Oh, there's a table.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a Forgotten God table.
It's a really long list is the problem.
I
Uh-oh.
think you can roll on it. It's a 66 item list.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. It's not actually 66 items. That's just if you're going to roll.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so you roll 2d6.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 36.
Yeah, that would make sense. So is it basically like we just did the life pass system where you roll 2d6, one's the 10th place, one's the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So we could do that. I could just
These tables
roll
are
some
just like-
dice and we could
I
see
can
what
need to
kind
do
of
a quick randomization.
Yeah.
what kind
Do
of
it right
god we
now.
come up with. Okay.
Let's roll with it.
Yeah, let's roll, and then if we don't like it, we can just go
Okay.
there.
So the Throne of Judgment.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I feel like that fits with all of us having like some kind of noble, high-class background.
I like that.
Except me. What am I doing here?
Should we roll and pick like best of 3?
Okay, yeah. So we've got the Throne.
I like to.
Have some options. So we have the Throne of Judgment. We have the Reconciler.
No.
And we have... this was one that actually came up in the Magpies briefly. The Father of the Abyss.
Oh, God. Does it describe any of them, or does it just
names.
throw names
It
at
gives
you?
names, and then it gives a suggested cult practice, but it doesn't. You don't actually have to follow that. So
It's like a mix and match as you see fit.
yeah. So the Throne of Judgment. Their recommended cult practice is desecration, manipulation of authorities and institutions to appropriate their power. Again, that feels
That
very
sounds
on
perfect.
brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we nailed it.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think so.
Yeah, do we just want to go with that?
Yes, please.
I
The
do.
Throne
Yeah.
of Judgment? Okay. So we are a cult of the Throne of Judgment.
So that goes under deity, right?
Yep.
Ooh.
Throne of Judgment.
Yeah. Where'd it go?
That was
And
desecration.
our crew could just be the cult of the throne or
Yeah. And then
The Broken Thrones called.
we pick 2 features of our deity. Basically just kind of descriptions
Yeah.
and so the features listed are alluring, cruel, ferocious, monstrous, radiant, sinister, serene, transcendent.
I think ferocious almost has to be there.
Yeah.
Or
something. I like ferocious and
ferocious and radiant.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like that.
I don't know. I kind of like ferocious and
I
alluring.
was thinking alluring
too.
as well.
Ooh,
They're both, ferocious and alluring, actually.
I like those
let's do
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
because we lure you in and then spring our trap.
Yeah.
Oh man, we're terrible.
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So that is the so that's our deity. So going back to the lair, what kind of temple have we set up for the Throne of Judgment? Bearing in mind that we do not have a lot in the way of resources.
Mm-hmm. This is a little bit on the nose, but like, is there just like one courthouse in Duskfall, or are they like spread out?
What if there's
and
an
stuff?
abandoned courthouse in 6 Towers? Because that used to be a fancy pants district before,
Yeah.
like, the plague. Well, not the plague, but before...
Now it just kind of fell
got abandoned.
out of popularity. People stopped
Yeah.
living there. Yeah, I was thinking like a basement, but like the basement of an abandoned courthouse is kind of cool.
I was thinking a basement as
Yeah.
well.
I was too, but I was thinking that it's something like kind of like plain and simple that we have attempted to
Yeah.
decorate appropriately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. I feel like a key aesthetic is hammers and fancy chairs.
Interesting. I'm for it.
What about like a...
Yeah, I really like it being like those, like, really meaty mallet-type hammers that you could break up stone
Yeah,
with.
what
Yeah.
about like a basement of like a tool shop, like an abandoned tool shop or something like that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Basement.
Oh, yeah, it could be like, I was going to say like a
Yeah.
mason or something.
Yeah.
Yes,
Backrooms of
mason.
that.
Yeah, I imagine whatever it has a lot of like iron and so like metal stuff, but then there's also like these like draped silks.
Maybe it's the
Yes.
basement of like an
Ooh.
abandoned blacksmith shop
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
we've
let's
just
do
like
that.
dragged a bunch of that stuff down
Yeah,
for
please.
our purposes.
I like that.
I just
Yeah.
want our aesthetic to be iron and silk.
Can our
That's
cult
very
start-
important to me.
It's a
Just
good
it's a-
aesthetic.
That's a good
Uh-huh.
aesthetic.
It's a good aesthetic.
All right. I had the page for how to do crew building open, and then I closed the book like a dummy. So okay. This works a little bit differently for a cult, where we are picking not so much hunting ground as sacred sites.
Okay.
So this is picking a location in the city that is kind of a that we have determined is a sacred site to us.
What if this one is, like, related to authority somehow? Like, our home temple is, like, just the blacksmith shop, but like it could be because there's like all these like underground tunnels and things in Duskwall. It could be something like underneath a courthouse or something like that.
Yeah.
What was the text for our Throne of Judgment? Do you remember?
Our rituals involve manipulating authorities and institutions in order to appropriate their power.
I'm just having a sudden like mental image of almost like there's this scene in that Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes film where there's like weird stuff happening almost like underneath a session of Parliament, and I just imagine that happening with us. I might be misremembering that movie also. But like the idea of like the people in power meeting above us while we plan beneath.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? I don't know. I feel like the Lord Governor's stronghold.
That's gonna be so hard to get
something
to.
do with that.
But we don't have to play this
something-
game.
That's true. You're right.
But it could also be like a place overlooking it or something where it's prominent.
Oh yeah.
Like where you have it like bearing down on you,
I feel like
guess.
I would want our sacred space to be something that is like physically above.
Okay.
That would make sense.
So
like, even if it's not in a place that's particularly nice, like I just want it to be like.
So
very...
the rule, if you look at the map of Duskwall, the rulers of the city live in White Crown, which is on a little island that's removed from the rest of the city.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe our place is like a tall building in the docks. Like it's the top floor or the roof of a building in the docks so that we can look out on White Crown.
I have
like a lighthouse.
A lighthouse would be rad as hell.
Yeah, it would.
Mm-hmm. Do those exist? They probably
I like the idea that it's an abandoned lighthouse.
Yeah.
Because like you've got the lightning barrier goes out around the bay, so like that provides enough light for ships coming in. So they don't use the lighthouse anymore.
You don't need it.
Yeah.
And it could be in the docks, which is not as hard a territory to break into.
I like that a lot. An abandoned lighthouse overlooking White Crown.
Still has like enough tower adjacent stuff. Like that's where all the journalists are, and that's where the big bank is,
and the Leviathan hunters.
And the Leviathan hunters, who are like the powers in the city.
Yeah, the demon blood that was previously mentioned that fuels the lightning barrier and a whole lot of technology in the city is collected from these immortal demons called Leviathans that are out in the void sea. It's basically whaling, except with demons.
Demon whaling.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know.
And every prominent family in the city runs Leviathan hunting
ships.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they have fleets.
Yeah. And that's how they are so rich.
Yeah. Like they're the captains of industry. Pun not intended.
Okay.
Always a center of energy needs.
So
from coal mining to this.
Then, so as I mentioned earlier, every scrap of territory in the city is already claimed. So this site that we have, I actually think I should have done this for. Should I have done this for? No, I shouldn't have done this for the lair. I don't think. Let me double check something. I might have skipped a step.
I think lair and hunting grounds, right?
No, lair does not.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So every scrap of territory in the city is already claimed. So our hunting grounds, this lighthouse, somebody else controlled it before we did. We took it from somebody. So there's a whole bunch of factions in the city. Yeah.
Real quick, Bazo's our enemy. Again. We're in a lighthouse.
Oh, the lamp
we took it from the
lighters.
lamp blacks.
That's a really good idea.
They must have used to run the lighthouse like way back before. Whatever you call spark rate stuff.
So one of the criminal organizations in the city is a group called the Lamp Blacks, who are run by Bazo Baz.
Ooh, I hate that guy.
The Lamp Blacks used to be the Lamplighters Guild. They were, they would go around and light all of like the gas and coal lanterns or lights throughout the city. Mm-hmm. And then electric lighting happened and they basically like went out of business. So as you do, they turned to crime. So I like that idea that they used to be responsible for this lighthouse and we ganked it from them.
Yeah.
And so they don't like us as a result.
I like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We also get friends, right?
Yeah, we'll yeah.
Okay. I don't remember what order this happens in. It's been a while.
Yeah. So the next thing after we've picked our sacred sites is we choose a special ability for the crew. This is kind of similar to the special abilities that we picked for our characters, but this is something that will give all of the crew members some kind of bonus. So do you want me to just read off the different options? Or do people have the page open?
I have it open.
Okay,
I'm looking at the crew sheet that you sent.
Yeah. Yeah, so any of these jumping out at people.
Glory Incarnate is really fun for this crew.
Your deity sometimes manifests in the physical world.
Oh, yep.
This can be a great boon, but the priorities and values of a god are not those of mortals. You have been warned.
No.
That is literally what the description says.
I mean, I feel bad not picking Sealed in Blood, but I guess we could go with that one.
Glory Incarnate, we can just manifest the throne of judgment in this world.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
Sealed
that's
in Blood
real
is
cool.
pretty good as well.
It's real
But,
cool.
Oh my
Let's do
goodness.
that.
Glory
Okay.
Incarnate.
Oh,
We
yeah.
can summon our god.
Yeah.
we can't think in terms of advancements because we're not going to play. So
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't think about how terrible of an idea any of this is.
I was just going to say that Glory Incarnate sounds like a really fun thing to have as like a later advancement, but we're
No,
not
man,
gonna
we're
do that.
starting with that.
with that.
Yeah, we're building for a one shot.
So the next thing we do is crew upgrades. So the cult starts with, it's not actually, one of them is missing. We start with it is on here actually. We start with a cohort, a gang of adepts, which basically means we are the cult leaders and we have a handful of worshipers already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Who, because they're so dedicated to us, will go out and do stuff for us.
Yay.
Perfect.
Yeah. So crew upgrades are kind of over bottom right of the thing. We get to pick 2 of these. So
Sanctum and Lair.
yeah, we've got we can upgrade. We can pick cult specific ones. We can pick things to upgrade our lair. We can pick stuff to make various like pieces of equipment better for us, or we could increase kind of our training resources, which basically allows us to get more XP for certain actions. So what are we thinking?
I love the idea of a ritual sanctum in the lair,
I do too.
which means we can do like rituals and stuff
Yeah.
without going somewhere else to do them. We can do them right at home.
Oh, that's
Yes.
nice.
Yeah, I
Summon
like
your
that.
god from the comfort of your own home.
Uh-huh.
I mean, especially because I can like make up rituals.
Yeah, that's a really
that's
good
what I was
point.
saying. It really fits well with what we've got going.
I'm gonna put in a vote for our lair either being secure or hidden.
Yeah,
I feel like
it almost has to be like, I don't know, because we could tell acolytes how to get to a hidden lair.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
hidden's
like
good.
hidden.
Okay.
Like, I have a feeling we're not the most subtle of cults, but we still need to have
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
safety in
Yeah.
it.
Okay. So with these upgrades, there's one faction out in the world that helped us get one of these upgrades, and they like us, they are friendly towards us. And then another faction was in some way inconvenienced by the other upgrade, and they don't like us so much. So it says that the GM will tell you. So I'm going to say instead of that, let's go with, there's kind of 4 broad categories of factions. So I'll just sort of give those categories and we can decide sort of like from there we can narrow it down.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
Well, first, do we think that someone helped us get the ritual sanctum, or was someone, is someone upset? Did we inconvenience someone in getting our ritual?
I like the idea of us inconveniencing some other arcane.
Church of the Ecstasy of the Flesh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, that would be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I already don't like them.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, we stole some stuff from the Church of Ecstasy
Yeah. No, that
Yeah.
sounds good.
to build our ritual sanctum.
That checks out.
Okay,
Especially
and then,
the silks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who do we think? So somebody helped us make our lair hidden. So we have Underworld, which is a bunch of other criminals, institutions, which are like the legitimate institutions of the city, labor and trade, which are kind of the working people of the city in different organizations, and the Fringe, which is weird stuff.
Fringe.
I want
Okay.
to say the actual legitimate institutions helped us become hidden. Because
Interesting.
we
Oh, 'cause we
manipulated
cloned
them
them.
into doing so.
Oh, that's very good.
Yes.
What if it was the Dagger Isles consulate?
Ooh, or
Like, what if our slide, like, pulled
yeah.
on
I was
that shit?
also going to suggest sort of similarly the blue coats, because I do have that blue coat contact.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
they maybe helped us find a place, but both of those are good. What do we think?
I kind of like the idea of the Dagger Isles, like, being able to pull on that connection to set
Yeah.
us
It's
up.
really fun, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, we have a friendly connection with the Dagger Isles consulate.
Yeah.
Who is your character again? The slide? Like what?
I'm a
what was the
Dagger
heritage
Isles
background?
princess.
Yes, perfect.
So that would
I got a few connections.
yeah.
Off on your room, Springa, starting a cult.
Okay. So then the last thing that we do for crew creation is we choose a favorite contact. Again, kind of like with the character sheets, we know all of these people, but one of them is somebody who we are much closer to. We don't have necessarily a rival in this group. So who do we think out of all of these fine people here is our close contact?
I like the idea of Hutchins, the antiquarian. Like, someone who, likes these traditional ways of thinking and, like, old power structures and stuff, and can, like, put us in contact with our histories and the
This
like.
is so interesting that we're actually almost like we're kind of like going for like old style authority.
Yeah, we're like a
Rather
monarchist cult.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like neo-feudalists
Yeah.
or something.
I mean, that is kind of how I envision it. Like, we are all sort of uppity rich kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so
God, we
different from how
suck.
I've never played Blades as that kind of like looking back and drawing from the past for power
Yeah,
kind of thing.
I like that. So we want to go with the antiquarian, Hutchins?
I think so.
Let me check. Yeah, that is the last step for crew creation. So yeah, we've got this group. I'm sorry, I take that back. The last step is naming the crew.
Well, we kind of did, didn't we?
Yeah, I thought we went with, Cult of the Throne? Or do we want something different?
Although I think Minna said, like, Cult of the Broken Throne, or the Broken Throne,
Yeah, I
or
said
something.
something like that. I was just throwing that out there.
No, I like it.
Yeah,
it
the
too.
Broken Throne. Yeah, so we're a bunch of like exiled nobles and rich kids.
We're almost trying to bring back the world that died in the cataclysm.
Yeah, or at least the power structures thereof.
Yeah.
Oh man,
God.
we're very bad.
Oh.
Hey, it's not like things are going
think-
so great without us.
Yeah.
I think also an important question is, like, how actually sincere is everyone in their belief? Like, are we all, like, way deep in it, or are some of us using it, or are some of us just
That's
sympathetic, but not especially dedicated.
Oh man, yeah, that would be
drawn into this.
Because I'm thinking I'm a total religious zealot, like I've completely bought into it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, the idea of some people using it as a means to an end.
Because, I mean, we are spoiled rich kids. It's just sort of like, oh, this is a way for us to gain power. Let's do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely just here for the spooky stuff.
All right, so Whisper's here for the spooky stuff.
Almost like the idea of my character, like, having become really loyal to one of the royals in our group.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, pledge
that's
her
fun.
fealty.
Well, you and Ree are both Eruvian, right?
But I'm not royalty.
Like...
Also, I think that our characters are at odds.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah. Like, I think it's more of a matter of then, like, do you respect, like, the political player sort of ruler or the Iron Fist sort of ruler?
I think my character's just using it to get money. I don't think she's... I mean, I think the god literally... she does not have a choice but to believe in the god because the god literally can manifest. So, like, she believes in it, but she's not... I don't think she's as interested in propagating the cult. I think that she is interested in... Well, she wants the cult to succeed and spread so that her position and privilege can rise again. Because I think she probably got disowned by her family at some point. Mm-hmm. And so this is kind of her... It's an alternate path back to power and privilege.
So... Okay. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that my character is more like accidentally doing culty things.
Like, just she got into weird stuff.
Like, they're just making it up as they go, and it seems to be working. And, like, we're just going to keep snorting these ghosts and hoping for the best.
So... This is really...
Oh, yeah. What if a big thing of this is, like, ancestor worship and stuff? Because, like, you're like, taking the spirits of the ancestors into yourself and assuming they're noble.
Oh, my gosh, that's so good. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So I had this, like,
This feels like our Spire episodes where we were talking about eating grandma.
Oh, dear.
So that she's with you always.
Exactly.
So I have this idea swimming around, and I did not come up with this tonight. I was having thinky thoughts about something that got discarded last night.
Thinky thoughts. I like that term.
But I think that my character is from, like, a city in Eruvia. It's kind of on the coast, and there was an island that during the cataclysm sank into the sea, and her people are some of the last survivors of that, and they remain, like, a somewhat separate community in that city. So I think they had, like, Severosi heritage, and so she is loyal to Josie's character because she's loyal to, like, that connection, that ancestral connection.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Hooray, I have servants.
That's awesome. I think for my character, how to put this? She wants to see if she can become good enough to manipulate the physical incarnation of a god.
What? Hashtag goals.
Oh my god,
wow.
That is like the personification of what our cult is about, though.
That's so good.
I love this group so much.
This is a lot of good girls.
It's a lot of good lore, man.
Oh, man.
That is one thing, like, our beliefs are not going to be, like, patriarchal about this in any way.
No.
I think that's everything for our characters and our crew.
Oh, man. Look at these bad kids.
They're so terrible.
They're very bad.
Man, these...
Wow, we went, like, the entire opposite
I
way.
know.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, like, we just created some horrible people.
And also just in terms of, like, ideals, so different. Like, the things that they cleave to are completely separate from...
I love this.
Yeah, this is really good.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to play with these bad kids?
We still got to we still have the discussion phase.
Yes.
Oh, man.
That part usually goes pretty
That's
quick,
true.
though.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for our Blades in the Dark character creation episodes. Ree, do you want to remind people where they can find you?
Yes. You can find my personal Twitter is @Rhiannon42. And I also run the Magpies Twitter account, which is @Magpies_pod.
And Josie, what about you?
Yeah, you can find me at the Magpies places as well, and on my Twitter @DragonGirlJosie.
All right. And Minna, how about yourself?
You can find me on Twitter @MinaMinnar, MYNAMINNARR. It's a nightmare of a Twitter handle. None of my usual handles were available.
It's not as bad as Senda's, though. Senda's is still really hard to...
I will also add, I'm not used to promoting this yet, our brand new Patreon for the Magpies.
Oh, yes. You just started that today? Yesterday?
It launched yesterday.
Oh, that's amazing.
So yes, you can also find the Magpies. I guess I'll do all of the Magpies things. Magpiespodcast.net is our main website, and patreon.com/magpiespodcast is where you can check that out if you decide that you listen to our podcast and want to support us.
Very cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and thank you for listening. We will be back for our discussion episode next week.
Character Creation Cast is a production of the One Shot Podcast Network and can be found online at www.charactercreationcast.com. Head to the website to get more information on our hosts and guests, or even some of our character sheets. Character Creation Cast can be found on Twitter @CreationCast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Bolter, and I can be found on Twitter @LordNeptune. Our other host, Amelia Antrim, can be found on Twitter @GingerReckoning. Music for this episode is used with a Creative Commons license or with permission from the podcast they originated from. Further information can be found within the show notes. Our main theme music is Hero Remix by Steve Combs and is used with a Creative Commons license. This podcast is owned by us under Creative Commons. This episode was edited by Ryan Bolter. Further information for the game systems used and today's guests can also be found in the show notes. If you like the systems discussed and wish to purchase them, links to the products can be found in the show notes. Also, check the notes or the website for cool stuff to go with each character, such as dice or mixtapes. Thanks for joining us, and remember, we find that the best part of any role-playing game is character creation. So go out there and create some amazing people. We will see you next time.
Now we gotta read some show blurbs.
Show blurbs.
Show blurbs.
Show blurbs.
Show blurbs.
Character Creation Cast is hosted by the One Shot Podcast Network. If you enjoyed our show, visit oneshotpodcast.com, where you will find other great shows like Modifier.
Modifier is an interview show hosted by Megan Dornbrock, all about why and how people change games. From the hobbyist to the professional, from house rules to publication, we all have in mind a better way to play. What's yours?